A 3-page cable, classified top secret, dated March 15, 2001. It bears the name Upstream. This document details the NSA's capability to copy all traffic passing through undersea cables. It should have been a simple technical report. But one line on paragraph 7 poses a question no one ever asked Congress: why is interception not an exception, but a permanent infrastructure? Edward Snowden released this document to the public in 2013. What it reveals is more disturbing than any single program. It shows a system installed beneath the oceans, without any clear legal framework. And if this system reveals the truth, why do certain sections of the file remain dark even today? On June 6, 2013, The Guardian and The Washington Post published the first slides of the PRISM program. Officially, the NSA collects data directly from the servers of web giants. However, a footnote on slide 4 mentions another program, Upstream. This program does not use corporate servers. It copies traffic directly within the undersea cables. An internal NSA document, dated 2003 and published by The Intercept in 2015, describes exactly how the agency installs optical splitters into cable landing stations. These splitters capture the light before it reaches the routers. The PRISM program officially launched in 2007. But access to the undersea cables existed for years prior. A memorandum from July 12, 2007, partially concealed, reveals that the NSA negotiated with private operators for direct access. The Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act of 1978 requires individual authorization for every target. Yet, a single cable transports millions of communications simultaneously. What is missing from that memorandum is the legal justification. Who authorized this mass collection? The initial revelations of 2013 presented PRISM as the primary tool. But documents published later paint a different picture. In November 2013, The Washington Post revealed the MUSCULAR program. This program intercepts connections between Google and Yahoo data centers by exploiting private cables. It uses the same principle as Upstream, but on land. The dates are crucial. On February 17, 2015, The Intercept published documents showing that the NSA has been intercepting international undersea cables since 2001. An internal report from January 29, 2001, now declassified to 3/4, names the program Blarney. It describes how the NSA accesses fiber optic cables through cooperation with foreign partners. In 2006, another program, Fairview, extended this capability to cables arriving on American soil. The contradiction becomes clear. The U.S. government asserts that surveillance is targeted and subject to judicial control. But these documents show the NSA copies all unencrypted traffic without prior authorization. Senate hearings in 2013 questioned the NSA director, Keith Alexander. He admitted the existence of these programs in closed sessions. But the transcripts of those sessions remain classified. What exactly was said? One line in an NSA document, dated November 18, 2006, indicates that cable collection is independent of any targeted request. In other words, the capture is preventive, not reactive. This single line reopens a debate the government believed was settled. Until now, one could believe surveillance was limited to major platforms or foreign programs. But a document from the Fairview program changes everything. Dated November 18, 2006, it shows the NSA has direct access to undersea cables within American territory. This is not an operation abroad. It is massive interception within the borders themselves. The government claims these programs are subject to oversight by the FISA court. Yet, this document names no individual authorization. It specifies that data is copied upon signal arrival, before any legal filtering. The contradiction is absolute. The law demands a warrant for every American citizen. But these cables make no distinction between an American and a foreigner. So, if this program is perfectly legal, why does its existence and precise modus operandi remain classified more than 10 years after the 2015 reforms? The answer may lie in the redacted lines of the 2007 memorandum. What if the evidence we have seen is not an anomaly within a military report? What if it is the key to a program far larger than any single file? The 1983 Gateway document does not merely describe a meditative technique. It details unconventional physics. It speaks of extra dimensions. It outlines the interaction between consciousness and observable reality. The manual is official. The military invested resources into this research. But the official program shut down in 1995. This followed decades of testing at Fort Meade. The archives of Project Stargate remain heavily censored. More than 60% of the records are suppressed. A note within the file indicates that certain results defy current paradigms. What remains unexplained is why no one was ever authorized to read the full appendices of this report. Why were these findings kept secret? And why do similar programs, hidden under other names, persist in the Pentagon's black budgets until 2025? The anomalies are not errors. They are entry points. The question shifts from, is this true, to, what does this imply if it is? On July 26, 2023, an intelligence officer testified before the U.S. Congress. He spoke under oath about non-human origin programs. He spoke of devices possessing impossible physical capabilities. He mentioned a detail absent from all official reports. He spoke of objects that appear to respond to the observer's intention. This witness, David Grush, was not a theorist. He had access to classified archives. He cited a document found by CQTC investigators within the declassified Pentagon listings, report number DIA-08-0929, dated 2010. The title is, Advanced Aerospace Weapon System Applications. This 136-page document describes technologies based on manipulating spacetime. It details the metric of gravity. Page 92 contains a line that speaks of consciousness locking onto the target. In 2025, a partially declassified version of this same report was published by the Air Force. A single line, line 14 of paragraph 7, remains entirely blank. The surrounding text discusses inertia reduction and scalar fields. The 1983 document described these exact concepts. What changed is that now, sworn witnesses confirm the existence of a program based on these principles. The program, officially, does not exist. So, what did the military truly discover within the laboratories of the Gateway Project in 1983? If the recent documents confirm these concepts, why does the 2025 declassified version still conceal line 14? And most critically, if these technologies are real, how long have they been in use? This file is closed only on paper. The program that followed has another name. Its first pages bear a red stamp, Top Secret/Special Access Required. This is a mark found on a document from 1997, within the archives of the Advanced Aerospace Threat Identification Program. The complete file, according to witnesses, was never shown to Congress. This is the file that Episode 2 will open.